The new Bilt card has just been leaked from the Bilt's website's source code, and if these leaks are to be believed, I think Bilt might have just killed their own credit card. So I'm on the Frequent Miler website where they have an article going over what these new Bilt cards are going to look like. And to put it bluntly, Bilt's whole point of their program is that they are the credit card that waives fees when using a credit card to pay rent. And it seems like they're completely getting away from that. Going into this leak, all we really knew was that Bilt was going to have 3 different versions of their card: a no annual fee option, a $95 fee option, and a $495 fee option. Someone was able to go into the source code of Bilt's website and find out some details of what a $0, $95, and a $495 fee card option would look like, and if these leaks are to be believed, I am not too happy. So let's take a look at Bilt's no annual fee card option. Again, no annual fee, welcome offer of $100 Bilt cash, which we'll get to in just a moment. It earns 1x on everyday spend, including rent and mortgage, so no longer are you getting 3x dining for no annual fee, everything will be 1x. But in order to kind of boost your return on spend, I guess, you do get 4x Bilt cash on everyday spend, excluding rent and mortgage. So that means you will earn this 4x Bilt cash on every single purchase. Now, what is Bilt cash? Bilt cash is basically a second currency that Bilt is going out. They say, $1 Bilt cash equals 1 real US dollar, and you can use it towards a bunch of different things, like the Bilt hotel portal, but also to pay for the credit card processing fees on your rent. Basically, they're saying, hey, we're not going to waive those fees anymore, but you can use the Bilt cash that you've earned through your spend to pay those credit card fees, which sounds a little complicated, but again, we'll go into more Bilt cash in just a moment here. Let's get through these cards. The next card is the Bilt Obsidian card. Again, $95 annual fee with a $200 Bilt cash welcome offer, so a little bit more Bilt cash. And you will also get 3x on dining or grocery. This will be your choice. And we do know the 3x grocery is capped at $25,000 in spend per year. I assume there'll be a grocery cap as well, but just did not find that in the source code. There's 2x on travel and 1x on everyday spend, including mortgage and rent. So kind of basically the normal Bilt card that we have right now, kind of. This $95 option also does seem to have a $100 Bilt travel hotel credit, $50 for the first 6 months of the year, $50 for the second half. So that's nice. This guest version also has cell phone protection, and again, redeem your Bilt cash to waive mortgage and transaction fees. Let's move on to the Bilt Palladium card now. So again, $495 annual fee, and this card does have a more traditional welcome offer. You can earn 50,000 Bilt points plus $300 in Bilt cash after $4,000 in spend in the first 3 months. That's pretty nice. Another highlight is that this card is kind of coming for the Venture X's throat. 2x on everyday spend, 1x mortgage and rent. Pretty simple, and this could be the new premium travel card that is also a catch-all card. I think Bilt points are worth a lot more than Capital One points, so if there wasn't that pesky deal with not waiving credit card fees on mortgages and rent anymore, I would probably hop on this card yesterday. This also does come with Bilt Gold status. There is some debate on whether or not this Gold status is just part of the welcome offer, because that's where it appears in the source code, or if this is something that you will receive every year. And Bilt Gold status is important because it will give you increased transfer bonuses whenever Bilt has them. But the most important and relevant use of Bilt Gold status is that it'll give you a 1-to-1 transfer rate when going from Rakuten to Bilt points. A couple months ago, Rakuten announced that one of their payout options will now be Bilt, and they're allowing everyone to cash out, their $1 at Rakuten to, 100 Bilt points or 1 cent per point value back and forth. Originally, you could only really do this as a form of cashback or Amex membership rewards points, but having the ability to get more Bilt points through Rakuten is something that I'm personally taking advantage of, and I know a lot of people are as well, because you can then go from Rakuten to Bilt to either Hyatt or Alaska. But in order to keep a 1-to-1 transfer rate there, you must have some type of Bilt status. So this Bilt Gold status will allow you to continue doing that at a 1-to-1 rate. But after the May Rakuten payout, that will go from a 1-to-1 to a 1-to-0.5 payout rate from Rakuten to Bilt. So this status will ensure that you can also, again, get more Bilt points through Rakuten. To offset the annual fee, the Bilt Palladium card will also give you $400 in Bilt travel hotel credits. Again, this will be $200 in the first 6 months of the year and $200 in the second half of the year. You also will get $200 in Bilt cash annually. Still unsure if you will get that upon renewal date or if you were to get that right away. And then you will also receive a Priority Pass membership for having this card as well. There have been no details saying what kind of Priority Pass membership, if it's just, a basic normal one, or if it will include Priority Pass restaurants. I assume not, but you never know. Now, before I go into my thoughts of this card, let's take a brief look at what Bilt Cash can be used for. They can be used for hotel bookings, Lyft credits, fitness classes, Bilt dining, home delivery, the Bilt collection, which is, again, just random Bilt merch, I guess I would say. You can also use Bilt Cash to unlock exclusive access to certain things in the Bilt ecosystem, like they say, elevated status for transfer bonuses, home away from home collection, redeem Bilt Cash to gain access to Bilt's luxury hotel collection, and also Bilt experiences as well. So now that we have gone over everything, let's just talk about my thoughts on the card. Overall, I'm extremely disappointed in these new proposed Bilt changes. Now, I do want to preface that these changes are not set in stone. Bilt has not announced everything. This is just what one person found while digging in the source code. Now, why would Bilt put information in their source code and it not be true? I'm not too sure. But if this is what the Bilt credit cards are going to look like, I do not know if I will even get a Bilt card at all. I'm kind of leaning towards getting the Palladium just for the welcome bonus and just for having it for 1 year to see if I like the program, and then probably canceling after 1 year, just downgrading to the no annual fee option. The problem is that the Bilt Palladium card is a better card if you don't use it for your rent. And what I mean by that is that, let's think about this card. It's a $495 annual fee card with a $400 hotel credit, and I'm not too sure what the Bilt hotel portal looks like, but let's just say we get $400 worth of value. All right, so you have a $95 annual fee card, gives you Priority Pass. I'm not going to put a dollar value on that because there are so many different cards that give you Priority Pass, but you also get $200 in Bilt Cash. And let's just say that you are not using the Bilt card to pay your rent. You are just using your bank account. Well, that $200 in Bilt Cash can then be used in the portal. So that's almost $600 in credits. Maybe. Again, we're not sure exactly how that will work, but let's just say that's how that works. You get $600 in hotel credits, or let's say you use that Bilt Cash to do anything else that the Bilt program allows you to do, and you can find a way to justify a full $200 value for that credit. Well, that basically does pay for the card. And I can see some people who really just want an excuse to get 2x Hyatt points on every single purchase. I can see people gain value out of this card. But for me, when I think of Bilt, I think of a credit card that allows you to pay rent to not pay credit card processing fees. And it seems like Bilt's getting away from that. Another way to think about it is if you do want to use your credit card to pay for rent because you have a high rent and you've been earning a ton of Bilt points that you've been able to transfer to both Hyatt and Alaska, how much money would you have to spend to get enough Bilt cash in order to offset any possible fees that you may be charged? So on average, my payment to Bilt every month is roughly $2,400. Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less. All depends on things like my trash and water bill, but let's just go with that. So on average, if I spent $2,400 a month through Bilt, and I'm assuming that the credit card processing fee would still be 3% like it is now, that would cost me $72 a month. Again, let's just multiply this by 12, $864 in credit card processing fees if I wanted to earn points on my rent. Now, I'll save you the math on this part. I had a $2,400 a month rent. I'm looking anywhere between 28 to 29,000 Hyatt points or Alaska airline miles every year just from my rent. So I'm not going to assign a dollar value to that and subtract this from that. We're just going to look at the fees itself. So let's take away the $200 in Bilt cash that you get every year because, hey, if I'm going to get this card, I might as well get the Palladium, get the best benefits, as they say, and go from there. I'm also going to ignore the Bilt cash that you get as part of the welcome offer just because that's only relevant for the first year. I just want to think about this overall. So how much money do I need to spend in order to offset $664 of credit card processing fees in a year? Well, in all my purchases, I get 4% Bilt cash per dollar spent. So we'll divide this by 0.04, and that means $16,600 every year to offset the credit card fee costs. We'll divide this by 12, and roughly $1,300 a month on the Bilt card. Now, my catch-all spend for the month on a credit card is not $1,300. If I put all of my credit card spend on the Bilt card in a normal month, I don't even think it's $1,300. Now, I could put all of my large purchases like my car insurance or any other bills that I have to pay on that card, but how would I ever hit a welcome bonus again while also trying to offset my credit card processing fees? I can't do both. And right now, I am still almost always working a sign-up bonus. I'm currently working on the Hilton Business sign-up bonus, as well as I think I have about $10 left on my Amex Green bonus that I think I'll be finishing up here today. But it's just not feasible for me to use the Bilt card for rent anymore under this proposed system. This card is much better if you just take it as a 2x catch-all card. Now, I'm not even really considering the no annual fee options or the $95 annual fee options because I just think those cards are absolute garbage. I do think some people could get some value out of the $95 fee option if you use that as part of like a Chase setup, where maybe you use that as your grocery card and you have a ton of grocery spend and you're not even using it for rent and you use those $50 credits. Again, I think that card could work out for some people. Again, if you're thinking of a Chase setup, and your points are going to Hyatt, there are people out there that will get great use out of that $95 annual fee card. I just think that's a little bit more niche. It just baffles me that Bilt made their credit cards better when you don't use them for rent. I do also want to highlight this video from Matt Clausen. I will leave it in the description down below as he will go more in depth than I will. There were 6 additional Bilt cards found in the source code after the fact. So basically, if we think about the timeline, these 3 Bilt cards were found in the source code. Everyone reacts. I would say most of the reactions were negative. And then the next day, that same person found 2 additional sets of 3 Bilt cards. In this video, he goes over how the person who found the source code for the original Bilt leak of the blue, palladium, and obsidian cards, he also found 2 more sets of 3 cards. One set of cards that focus on 10 transactions to waive your credit card fees, and another set of cards that focus on monthly spend to waive those transaction fees, kind of like the Mesa Homeowners card that unfortunately got absolutely nuked. Now, I won't dive into the details of these cards like I did with the original link, because I agree with Matt when he says that the blue, obsidian, and palladium card do seem to be more likely to be the real cards, as he asserts that this was probably an internal leak from Bilt, or maybe these were old versions of the cards. We could be wrong. One of these sets of cards that he talks about could end up being the real card, and I'm freaking out over nothing. But it does seem that Bilt is going towards kind of fully investing into Bilt Cash, so I do expect that the original leaked cards are correct, but I do recommend everyone watch this video to get some more information about what the Bilt cards could possibly look like. I would personally prefer it be 10 transactions to waive your credit card fees for rent, but that's just me. So overall, what are my thoughts on these Bilt cards? If the original leaks are to be believed, I'm extremely disappointed. The Bilt program is one that I've taken a ton of advantage of and gotten a lot of great value on with my very high rent here in Southern California. And if I lose that 28 to 29,000 Hyatt points, I don't think this new program will be able to give me those points back. Now, I could just use my Bilt Cash to cover my fees when it works. Maybe some months I pay with my bank account, and then when I earn enough Bilt Cash, I use my Bilt card and earn Bilt points that way. Or maybe I just use my sign-up bonus card to pay rent, and I just pay that fee. I don't know. I don't really want to pay almost $900 a year in credit card processing fees. That sounds kind of lame. Now, I do think there's something to be said about using these cards as not for rent and using your Bilt Cash in the hotel portal, maybe along stacking that with your Bilt hotel credit that you get on the Palladium card. And maybe after using the card for a while, I might actually prefer that to be my premium travel credit card. Maybe I partner that with my Delta Reserve. And then the only annual fee cards I have other than that are maybe a Chase Sapphire Preferred and my IHG card. And maybe that's a great setup. I am kind of disappointed that it looks like I'll be losing out on about 29,000 Hyatt points a year. But the run was nice while it lasted, and while I am very disappointed personally, I do see some use cases for these cards for other people. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, comment, subscribe. I really want to hear what you think about these Bilt credit cards. Which card are you going to get? And are you even going to get a Bilt card? Or are you just going to cancel it, or maybe just rock that Wells Fargo autograph card? Definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Most importantly, have a great rest of your day.